Gentlemen, I cordially, wholeheartedly greet and welcome you all. Almost after 1.5 years of longing, it is a great pleasure for me to be here in Gaziantep, a province of our country. And in your person, I would like to extend my special thanks to the people of Gaziantep for their support, for their prayers, and for the kindness they have shown to us. Gaziantep has now again hosted us in the way it always does. This is a day that makes us proud. A short while ago, we addressed our young people at Teknofest, the main source of pride for our country. And using this opportunity, again, I would like to state that I had the chance to witness the vision and the enthusiasm of our young people, and it made it even more clear, obvious for us that we should trust in our young people. Their productivity, their enthusiasm, excitement in technology gives us hope. And now we are at the inauguration ceremony of the Gaziantep Organizational Industrial Zone. There are 300 factories, facilities to be officially opened. I, first of all, would like to thank the Ministry of Industry and Technology, the Minister himself and his team, industrialists from Gaziantep, and especially the management of Gaziantep Organized Industrial Zone. I would like to extend my special thanks on behalf of my nation, and personally, I know that there are many facilities that work for further development in our Gaziantep province. Our entrepreneurs, our investors deserve special thanks for their special efforts. Now we are officially opening 300 factories in Gaziantep, and I hope that all of those facilities will be auspicious for our city and country and our nation. Many of those factories are located in organized industrial zone, and they concentrate on their operations in the fields of food and textiles. And these factories have had a total of almost $15 billion of investment, and 45,000 people have had the employment opportunities thanks to this initiative. And with indirect employment opportunities, the figure exceeds even 100,000. But of course, it will be bringing about, this project will be bringing about foreign trade opportunities, and it will contribute to the export volume of Gaziantep, and it will be bringing in an additional $1 billion of export. And this, of course, will affect all 83 million people of this country, and it is a great source of pride for Gaziantep as well as for our country overall. It will be addressing the investors in our country and also the investors in the world. This is one example to set forward for all the international investors from Africa to Asia to the Middle East. Over 100 countries we are welcomed, and we see your work and operations not only in textiles but in chemistry and packaging and also the metal industry. We have a large scale of operations conducted by our Gaziantep facilities. Gaziantep itself is a brand city, and hopefully in the forthcoming periods they will be raising the bar of success even higher. These facilities that we inaugurate open now, only by those factories even we can prove the capacity, the high capacity of this city. Of course, those projects of investment also show how self-confident our investors are and how hopeful they are of their future, of their bright future. During this critical era we go through, what we need as a country is this motivation, this source of motivation and dynamism and energy. We should not lend an ear to those who only bring bad news. We on the contrary, continue to work and continue to invest. In the past 19 years, Turkey has backtracked the plans, frustrated the plans of many, and you know the best how we covered mileage from the 2008 global crisis to the conflicts and atrocities in the region, from terrorism activities to the coup attempt. There were many attacks that targeted our independence and democracy, and we averted and overcame all of them, thank God. And what we have done in the past 18 years, indeed, is 2, 3, 4, even 5 times higher in amount and number as compared to what was done in the totality of the Republic of history before us. And we have done those despite some did stand against us, and despite the efforts to prevent us, to block us away on this path, we have made it to this day. And recently we have been combating the COVID-19. We have been using the opportunities, seizing the opportunities offered by our executive presidential system in the best way possible, and we have not allowed this pandemic to make our economy and our healthcare systems stumble. Our public services never took a halt, and we have never along this process left our people alone. With the economic stability shield program, we have protected our people, our artisans, our craftsmen against the impacts, negative impacts of the pandemic. Due to the pandemic, even the developed countries have gone introverted, while on the other hand we acted with our industrialists, our tradespeople, and struggled to expand the scope of our activities. As long as we come together with our industrialists and producers, we will see certain realities more clearly, and the more we come together with them, the more clear it becomes for us. Even though this pandemic has brought some difficulties and challenges to our attention, it, on the other hand, opens new windows of opportunities for us. The quality products, geographical advantages, our location, also many other characteristics of our country and our investors receive more and more praises and welcomed more by many others, and Turkey's name is now uttered by more frequently by the others. With its highly qualified labor human force, its strategical location that combines 3 continents, and with investments in any field, in all fields including health, our country is growing stronger and stronger. When the pandemic is over and when everything is back and settled strongly, Turkey will achieve more. As I said before, not only in health tourism, but from export to agriculture, from production to health, Turkey will become stronger, will emerge stronger out of this pandemic of COVID-19. We know that a strong infrastructure is the biggest driving engine for the economy. That's why we try our best to grow our economy with all the regulations and projects and initiatives and reforms we have started. We have always supported our business people, our companies and representatives of the industrial world. We have facilitated the work of our business people, our entrepreneurs and investors, and every step taken forward in this regard is, of course, a plus point for our country, I believe. And the private sector has followed the path we have opened and has become the driving engine of our economic growth. This process is based on public-private solidarity, and we define it as the Turkish model. Of course, the position we have arrived is, of course, very crucial, but it still is insufficient. We need to have a higher number of globally operating companies. That's why every success we have will bring in a more added value to our brand value as a country. And those who do alienate the private sector, does not have any sensitivity or interest in growing the country. And those who say that the private sector should not be included in the process, then their purpose is not to grow the country, but make our country go backwards. And if they criticize fearlessly and also mercilessly all those new projects and initiatives, then they are not for the development of the country, but the otherwise. So whoever who supports, well, all those who support the economy of the country would not stand against all those initiatives, but would support them. And some statements declared by some about our economic investments show clearly what kind of mind or mentality codes they have. There are many examples of that throughout the history of our country. One of the most visionary people of our country, Nuri Demirağ, for example, established an aircraft facility, and his factory was closed down by the party in office in that time. And also the single party mentality sabotaged many other similar projects. And some other breakthroughs or many other movements that would make our country leap forward was impeded by those people, and this is a clear example. And some separated the capital by calling it by some colors such as green, white or red, and these were the members of the fascist ideology. Despite all the harsh responses they got from the nation, unfortunately such a mindset is not changing, and they do not change or transform. And our nation, when the time comes, when the time is due, will of course put them on the dusty shelves of political history, and our nation will never hesitate to do so. We will only concentrate on our own path, our own activities. So as we do here, we will continue to bring in further works to fruition, and we will continue to create new channels of investment and employment. Our ancestors said that if a tree is healthy, no worms will get to it. So the matter is to have your core strong, not your shells. That's why Turkey, with its public and private sector, the stronger we are with all sectors, with both sectors, and the stronger and sounder we are with our industry, the brighter futures will await us. So the recent steps we have taken recently have brought our country to a very significant point, especially in terms of production infrastructure and industrial infrastructure. We have undertaken many historic actions, and the number of the organized industrial zones increased from 193 to 320. For big-scale investments, we have commissioned industrial zones. We led the way through innovation, and we have established an ecosystem from the scratch. The number of the techno parks increased from 5 to 85 in number, and more than 1,600 research and development RD centers and design centers have now been established. We have supported all those who were willing to invest, and we have come up with strategies that would bring the potential and the capacity of our cities to use. And Gaziantep is a city that has seized all those opportunities in the most effective way possible. In all those organized industrial zones in this city, there are almost 148,000 people employed. And for infrastructure work, we have allocated 380 billion liras of budget. And the private private sector now has a $30 billion worth of fixed investment, and Gaziantep this way will have new horizons opened for itself. And 2 technoparks, 12 R&D and design centers have now become operational, and many SMEs benefited from COSGAP incentives. And Silk Road Development Agency so far has supported 584 projects and has made a total investment of more than 248 billion liras, from education to health, from transportation to infrastructure. We have brought about breakthroughs and made all those reforms. And Gaziantep, of course, gave in return. The export volume of Gaziantep in 2004 was 1.2 billion. In 2019, this figure has increased up to $7.5 billion. During the same era, the total national income of the city was increased from 8.5 billion up to $70 billion. Our purpose is to, of course, bring Gaziantep to high ranks. As long as we hold tightly on our brotherhood, or our fraternity, our solidarity, there will be no problem we can tackle. We are aware of the importance of the human capital. Our young people, our children should be directly involved with the means of technology. We have established a technology workshop titled Try and Make workshops, and our children will have design, robotic coding, cyber security, and artificial intelligence oriented lectures and classes, and they will be the champions of Technofest of future, and also the inventors of the future. And TÜBİTAK popular science journals also have been delivered to the people of Gaziantep with the support of Şahin Bey municipality. And TÜBİTAK we have distributed to all schools of Gaziantep. We have distributed those journals and studies to all cities, all schools of Gaziantep, and I hope that all those books and textbooks and journals will help our young people, our children, tremendously. I have some other good news. After Ankara and Bursa, in Gaziantep as well, we will establish a modern factory, and hopefully around November we will commission this factory, and at this facility, at this factory, hands-on and theoretical classes will be offered to our people, so that the companies will have a chance to put their methods in practice in the best way possible. Of course, it is important also to stand with our Syrian brothers and sisters. It is important to remember that too, considering the services of the municipality of Gaziantep. I'm fully aware of all the services delivered by the municipality. And hopefully after the next year, when we visit the city again for the first Congress, we will elaborate on all those matters in greater detail. With all these thoughts, I once again hope that these factories we are officially opening now will be auspicious for our people, for our investors, for our city and our country. And I would like to thank to each and every one of all those industrialists, investors, on behalf of my nation, and I extend my personal gratitudes. I greet you all with love and respect. Thank you very much. Stay in health. Now we will have a live connection. Ms. Derya, can you hear us?
Başkanım.
Yes, we can.
Sayın Cumhurbaşkanım, Gazi şehrimize hoş geldiniz.
Mr. President, welcome to our city.
Gaziantep bir sanayi şehri Sayın Cumhurbaşkanım.
Gaziantep is an industrial city. It's a city of trade. It's a city of tourism. It is also a health base, Mr. President.
Gaziantep'te 6349 yatak kapasitemiz